All right, let's get this thing started. Saturday done at the Boost Mobile Gold Coast 500, and boy, it's always a street fight here, and it certainly was no different today. Our winner, Chaz Mostert from Waukesha Andretti United, Broc Feeney in second, and Kai Allen rounding out the podium. A very busy day and plenty to talk about. Chaz, first off, homegrown win, but you sure had to fight for it. That car was a rocket today, but you had to come through the field at the end. You had to fight for everything today from the looks of it. So how does it feel to take the top step on the podium today?
Yeah, I'm still fighting now. So, it's first of all, just so proud of the guys and girls at Waukesha Andretti United. That was an impressive super soft car. Going into the race, I would have just thought, man, to do 25 laps on these tyres at this pace around here is going to give them a workout. So I was so shocked to see guys like Kai and Reynolds and I can't remember who else, did that last safety car stop. Feel awesome sitting in first, but honestly, real kudos to those guys having a crack at that, saving fuel, looking after a tyre that long. That's probably some hard yakka. So for Kai to be sitting here on the podium running that strategy, I mean, that's a pretty big statement. So super pumped for us. Super shattered for Woody. It's just so cruel, this sport. Sometimes he was on pole, he was doing a mega job out the front, and then something out of his control, just let go on the fuel tank or something. So, yeah, I was happy for myself, but so gutted also for the team. We had two super fast cars, and there's no reason why we both couldn't be edging towards finals, but he's got a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, a tale of two sides of the garage, but a huge swing in momentum and a huge swing in morale for your side of the garage after what happened 2 weeks ago. Just you speak to us about keeping the mindset fresh going into this weekend after what happened to the mountain a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think, in teams when you have such bad results and things that are out of your control, you're really bound to work out what kind of team you are. And our team really put our arms around each other and bound it together. And we come here with the goal this weekend to be competitive and put it behind us. And I don't think there's any better way to do that than being competitive and getting the result. And it really showed with Woody's top 10, performance to put on the front row. And I obviously felt like for me showing it in the race what we had as well. So completely different day tomorrow in softs and all that kind of stuff. And you don't take anything like this in this sport for granted. Unless you win 13 odd races for the year or with this bloke's doing. So it just feels really nice to me. It's been an up and down year to be able to show some pace in that race with some of the best young talent we have in the country and pull a couple of old dog tricks here and there and get one over them. Normally they always get one over me.
Speaking of, you guys were having a laugh before we got started here about what happened to pit lane between you and Kai on that safety car. A lot of double stacking, and you run into the back of Kai, Matt Payne running to the side of you. Just try to explain what it was behind the visor.
Yeah, well, I got released, and then Kai was obviously, it's so tight down that end of pit lane, and Kai couldn't have done anything else. But I was pretty motivated to go through him. I thought he probably would have got on the radio and said, Brody's hitting me. But then he'd be like, nah, it's Chaz or whatever. So, but I was trying to make a crack under pressure a bit. I kept popping the clutch into the back bar. I didn't just do it once. I was like, come on, man, just go. Don't worry about whoever you're going to block in front. Just let me out. And anyway, I got to the lane, and that obviously blocked everybody. So I lost, I think, to Waters out. And probably lost a bit of fuel time there as well. So anyway, recovered. Things happen, and it's not the young fella next to me. Couldn't do anything better, but I'm glad I didn't banana the back end of his car in either, but I was just knocking on the door.
You just added yourself to the list of guys you've run into Kai for over the past couple of weeks, but a home win for you, and you punch your ticket to Sandown. So what does the next 24 hours look like for you guys? You're in for next week, so what's the game plan?
Probably a big debrief tonight and work out, is there anything we can do a little bit better for tomorrow, and just make sure we execute again tomorrow. Different tyre. Spoke about weather. I don't know if that's still around or not. Get to my age, just stop looking at that kind of stuff because they make slicks and wet tyres, and someone will just make a call to put it on the car or not. So the focus tomorrow will be Woody, 100% for us in the team. He showed amazing speed today, and we need to try and get him to Sandown. And I don't know where the points are. Obviously, you need to be in that top 7. If he can get a good result tomorrow, he might jump a few guys. And as we've seen today, it's so tough around there. So there's still a lot to play for tomorrow. We're not down and out in car 2 for sure.
Oh, your third win on the Gold Coast. Congratulations. I'll look over to second place today, Broc Feeney. Another home podium for you. Boy, competitive throughout, and you also had to work for it similar to Chaz. Tell us about your afternoon coming to a runner-up finish.
Yeah, no, it's been a good day for us. I think, all sort of was going to plan. Obviously, Ryan had his misfortune, and we sort of capitalised, and to be honest, felt quite good in the first stint. struggled a fair bit, I think, in the second stint. Sort of kept running off on the restarts and kept locking a left front tyre. So probably just need to understand that a little bit. But then, yeah, Chaz blew all of our doors off and sailed off into the sunset. So, yeah, I knew it was going to be very hard to beat him today once he got through on me. And yeah, just run our race. I feel like that's where we could have ended up. So we maximised on what we could have done today, as we sort of spoke about, chasing down Kai and Chaz at the end. Kai and Dave at the end. Wasn't easy, but thankfully got to them and they didn't make it too hard. There's obviously a lot of other people trying to catch up as well. So, yeah, stoked to get another podium. We're also through on points as well, which is fantastic. That's our goal. We'll go out tomorrow and try and make sure we're in the lead come to Sandown on points.
A very dramatic morning, obviously, with what went on in qualifying. And you started on the front row after the shootout, but you were only 9th in provisional qualifying, and there's a couple guys on flyers at the end of that.
Yeah.
Were you sweating it there?
Yeah, I just made a mistake on my green lap, on that first green lap in the first sector. So we were second or third to sort of Matt and Chaz for the whole qualifying session, and yeah, put a green tyre on and made a mistake at 1-2, and then sort of had a decent rest of the lap. So yeah, I would have obviously just pushed on my next lap, and I feel like I would have popped back up the front, but it is nerve-wracking. You see a red flag and you're like, where am I? And they're like, P9, you're safe. But yeah, to be honest, the shootout was great. Like, it was a good lap, and I sort of said, I feel like we were top 2 or 3 car throughout qualifying. So anyway, it's just so tight around here. Like I can't speak for everyone, but it is out of control. Like the chicanes, it looks cool on photos and all that. It is ridiculous. Like doing it for 85 laps was crazy. We're, about a second a lap under the lap record. From what stood in the past, I think we're doing the same times, or Chaz was faster than Pole in the shootout for probably most of the race. So it is ridiculous. Lots of fun. But yeah, looking forward to having another go tomorrow.
Do you feel physically any different? Obviously, we've seen these cars getting more wild over the back chicane than we have in previous years. Does it feel any different behind, to you?
Yeah, your head's wobbling a lot more, that's for sure. You're like what are they? The bobble? Yeah, bobble heads. That's what it feels like through the chicane. You sort of hit a curb and you look at the sky, and then you land and you look at the next corner. Yeah, I mean, there was lots of safety cars, but to be honest, it's like if there would have been 10, I wouldn't have been surprised just because how out of control it is through there. So it's fun. It's crazy. But yeah, it's hard work. So.
You also get to, I believe, sleep in your own bed tonight. But
Yeah.
Before you do that, you got to figure out how to catch car 25. What do you need to do?
Yeah, exactly. We need to go back and look, and we didn't just get beat today. We got smoked. So yeah, I feel like compared to the rest of the field, we were quite competitive. There was obviously a couple of fast cars out there, but Chaz was in a league of his own today. So plenty to look at. Obviously different tyre tomorrow. So just trying to understand what we think will change, try and predict what the car's going to need for that tomorrow. As you said, weather, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of guys that are going to be, I feel, pretty desperate tomorrow. Probably a couple of must-wins or, really good results. So we'll just try and run our own race, try and make some improvements overnight, and, come back and try and go one better tomorrow.
Job all done today. We'll see you tomorrow for sure. And third place today, Kai Allen. Boy, I think a lot of people talking about how he hasn't raced here before. He hasn't turned laps around, da-da-da. You got a surfboard. Not a bad start.
Yeah, obviously didn't really expect that, but obviously the strategy helped me really get that one. And I feel like the car was very strong, and even, I don't know how many laps I did in that last stint. It was pretty wild, I think 30 plus or whatever. So 60. Oh, geez, I lost count. That's how much it was. So, yeah, obviously very, very tricky for me to manage the tyre for that long. But, yeah, towards the end there, I actually felt like it hung on pretty well. And once Broc and Chaz got past, I was safe on fuel with about 3 laps to go, and I knew that Cam was coming pretty quickly. So I pressed on, and I found a bit of speed in the old Penrite Mustang. So that's promising for tomorrow. But like all the boys are saying, it's a different tyre, it's a different ball game. And, yeah, to Broc's point, she's wild out there. Even fuel saving, I was having a few moments, and it was probably actually scarier fuel saving. So we'll put that behind me and, march on tomorrow and try and have another good result to, try and cement my spot to Sandown. But, yeah, it's not as easy as that.
Seeing these guys getting bigger and bigger in the rearview mirror as they're coming up on you, was there interested just trying to keep them behind, fight them off, or just playing for points?
No, obviously I couldn't hold them back with the fuel number I had to target, the amount I had to save per lap, and also the speed that they had. So for me, it was more about trying to salvage a podium. I really had to get past Dave, and it was hard to pass him there, but obviously the team and him miscalculated it. Didn't quite get there, but yeah, once I got past him, I could sort of manage it a bit well, and obviously Chaz come up pretty quickly, and yeah, I think we had a bit of a moment there. We didn't know really where to go. It was a bit confusing, but we worked it out well. I just tried to not lose as much time as I could because, like I said, Cam was pretty close at the end. So, yeah, I feel like I just had to get out of their way. They're in a different race. I just had to salvage whatever I could. And, yeah, I got pretty stuffed there at the pit stop, come out in 17th or nearly last and couldn't quite get in. And, yeah, it was a bit of a mess. So, yeah, to recover to a podium for the team and myself is very, very special. And, yeah, we'll go get that surfboard out at down Burley Heads down Sunday night and have a surf, I reckon.
What was going through your mind when you're sitting there in the double stack in pit lane? It's always chaotic, but it can't be a fun time.
Yeah, well, Chaz is giving me a bit of a hurry up, but I wasn't stressed. I was just trying to calculate how much I could give him before I'd block Cam and get another penalty. So obviously, yeah, felt bad holding him up, but like it is super tight down that end of the lane, and I think it's the way the track curves. It's actually borderline. You can't even double stack. It's just crazy. So yeah, glad that he got out. Didn't hurt him too much, and then yeah, also yeah, I think Matty stuffed you on the exit, but unfortunate for Matty. But yeah, we executed the best we could, and I think we did a good job. So yeah, march on for tomorrow.
You talked about that long stint running all the way to the end. We often hear about young drivers who struggle to look after tires, to conserve fuel, still be competitive. But it's not the first time you've done it in your rookie year. What is it? It seems like you're taking to a duck to water to this sort of thing. So, how do you handle it? Yeah, it's pretty tricky to be honest. But I actually went slower once I started pushing on those last few laps, and I did fuel saving. So that's something to think about. But it's just for me, it's a lot of trial and error in that early stage and really trying to adapt to learning. And I think, yeah, the car that I got given today was very easy to drive. So I could, I could work with it and understand where I could push. I had to learn all new markers. I was lifting off 100 meters, early at turn 1 and rolling for so long. And it was obviously tricky, but I had to do that to salvage a good result, which we did. So I'm pumped for the team. Obviously, credit to Al and Chippy and the whole boys in the garage, because they were feeding me info like nothing, and I took all that and did the best job I could, and we just made it. Had a few alarms I had to keep clearing the last lap and press on, but we made it safely, which is good. Just ignore the alarms. Yes, I thought. Yeah. Surfboard on debut at Gold Coast. Congratulations. I'll open it up to the room now.
Broc and Chaz, probably want to ask you, Broc, you had the sore back at Bathurst, and Chaz being a little bit older than Kai. How is it with doing 85 laps of that heavy landing on those chicanes? Is it hard on the body or not really?
Yeah, my back's fine. Yeah, I mean the cars are pretty good. It doesn't feel too bad. I feel like you go through there so fast, but to be honest, you're just getting thrown around a lot. But you sort of get used to it after a while. I wouldn't really. It doesn't hurt. You don't think?
No.
I don't think it hurts.
I had one where I come a bit awkward on the last one because I stuffed up my fuel saving and I hit my head on the seat.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a concussion.
Yeah.
But I'm all good though.
You whack yourself a bit.
Yeah, I was like, bang, and I'm like, hang on a minute, where am I?
It was a bit of a weird race. There was so many safety cars in that first part. Never really felt like we actually got going, So it was still pretty fresh. For I feel like a third of the race was just under that, and then it was a bit of a sprint home. So I'd say the intensity of the race was super fast. And you're pushing the tyre to the limit, and you don't feel like you're trying to conserve it as much, and you're waiting for the degradation to come. But the new surface and how we've all these teams have refined the cars now, I was quite surprised how long it hung in there for. So it's obviously a pretty fast race once we got going, but physically feel pretty good. These cars are definitely cooler than our previous model in the Gen 2. But yeah, feel fine. I think for me, I just feel like I feel really mellow. It's been a bit of an up and down year for us, and you start after you don't get a result for quite some time or a win, you start to question all those things in your mind. Are you leading the team in the right direction? Are you getting the most out of your car? Got a young hot teammate pushing you, nipping your heels, and sometimes out qualifying and showing you how it's done. So this one's really important for me and at the right time of the year as well.
And Chaz, one more on the curbs and whatnot. That's obviously been a topic every year that we come here, tyre bundles or curb sensors. Do you feel like the solution is good at the moment, how it is?
Yeah, I think so. We feel like for us, it's given us, when we turn a couple off, it gives us margin to be more consistent. When you when all the sensors are on, and I think where we got to the point where it's such a fine line, and then we have those moments where we'd be racing someone and someone would get a hop and get an advantage off that beach chicane and then pass in 11, and then we'd have all that black and white type talk. Oh, they shouldn't have been able to do a move because you got a hop. But now that we've taken the right side out and that's made that track a bit wider, and it's not every lap you get it's super consistent, but it's just gave us more margin, especially I feel a bit safe, even though we're going faster in a way. It's definitely weird. And same with the first chicane. Like, yeah, when you used to have the sensor there, every time you'd come down, even in the race, worried about hitting the sensor, worried about hitting the sensor, that you just never had enough margin there to stay away from that outside wall. So now it is pretty self-policing. You know when you're too greedy, you have a big wobble and you look like you're about to fence it, you do it at 2 or the back chicane. It's very self-policing and fun and trying to find that groove.
And Kai, I guess, how did you manage to, when no one else was able to do that full 50, 60 laps, how did you manage that when, I guess Dave and everyone else had to give it away?
I don't really know, to be honest. It was obviously just the team feeding me the information. I could just stick to my numbers and go off fuel. I obviously got in a pretty good rhythm there, and Al gave me a lap time that I needed to try and stick to, and then also fuel number. And it was a challenge. Like I was struggling there for a bit to get it going, and then I sort of got a bit of consistency, and it was just muscle memory for the half of that stint, and then it sort of changed a bit towards there as the tyre started going, but. Yeah, I was very, very impressed how the Super Soft held on. Like, I was thinking that I'd get to, 20 laps to go and I'd just be hanging on and I'd have to come in for new tyres and fuel. So we got, I don't think we got lucky. We worked for it. We did a really good job, and it's credit to the team. They
don't sell yourself short, mate.
Hey?
You drove the car. Don't sell yourself short.
But
You're a superhero out there today.
Thank you, mate. Look at that. Jeez. I think it's pretty cool to obviously get that. And, it's just a lot of practice, thinking, and also the hunger to get a result with those circumstances. No matter what they threw at me, I wanted to, put my best foot forward, and I was being quite aggressive there as well. And that race was definitely a pretty cool one to look back on in a few years' time. And to get a surfboard in my first race at Gold Coast is special too.
Question for all three of you. I mean, that was the first finals race. You are 3 finals contenders. Did it feel any different to any other race when you're actually out in the car? Is it something that you did consider as the race was unfolding?
Not for me personally. Just when you got the opportunity to try and go for a race win, you're just so wide in that moment, worried about that. When you're flying the cars at the curbs, to have time to think about, hey, we're in a finals race, and does this feel different? No. At the end of the day, you're worried about your next break point, how your downshifts are, how you're going to get on the gas, and trying to drive to the strength of your car. So I think it probably more felt at the end of the race when they're like, man, we're through to Sandown, and you're kind of like, oh, yeah, that's right. You just, at that point, you're so focused on your job to make sure you don't put the foot wrong. So at that time, the race didn't feel any different. I didn't feel like the guys around me were more conservative or less aggressive. We all wanted to win the race, and that's the way it was.
Chaz, you talked about the contact with Kai in pit lane. That is something that can be penalised. Generally contact in pit lane is penalised. Was it something you were worried about at all, that it could be picked up on?
Oh, no, not really. It's because when I was hitting him, I was in the fast lane. So it was like front to rear contact. So it wasn't
unsafe release.
Unsafe release because there was a car in front of me. Stop.
And you talked about how the focus turns to, Woody tomorrow and trying to get him through. Like, you guys were both right at the front today. If you end up in a situation where you have to move over for him, particularly if it becomes a win and in situation for him, is that something that you would consider?
Oh, look, it's hard enough going 85 laps around here, and accidentally locking a front tyre or having a bad exit is very easy.
Fair enough.
Just one for Chaz. Obviously, this has given you a nice early boost for your finals campaign. You've been chasing one for a while now. What would it mean to you if you were to get up and win a championship this year, and how hungry are you for that?
Oh, it's so early still to be talking about that. It's we had a fast car today. That's great. Want to try and maximise that again tomorrow. And then we go to Sandown, and then you're talking about a completely different track surface to what we've had here this weekend. So you hope that you can keep some consistency with the car. Like, if you can make it to Adelaide, I'll probably feel confident that we can have a fast car there. I'm still probably a little bit concerned about Sandown. I've had fast cars there, but, man, it's just this new tyre this year is a bit tricky, getting my head around it. And, we'll just hope we'll see how we go. It's great finding speed this weekend. Hopefully we can keep running on with it, but we'll be probably pretty consistent with our car now through to the end of the year.
Chaz, the team have spoken a little bit throughout the year about setting up the cars throughout the season with an eye on the finals at the end of the year. Was there ever a time throughout the season where you thought to yourself you had a car that was going to be an absolute jet at these finals rounds?
Yeah, there was a point at probably Townsville. I thought we'd have a really good fast car there. I mean, we didn't execute on Sunday the best, and the Bulls were quite fast there. But and we didn't really qualify real well either. But our race pace was mega, and something that we've really been focusing, especially on 25 side of the garage, being probably the bit of the guinea pig and trying to come up with some different ideas and then trying to find a bit of a hybrid that we can find towards the end of these races. So we're pretty vocal about that throughout the year, and you know, you still question yourself if you can do it, and you know cars are a little bit different and stuff like that. And Ryan's been he's been awesome to be able to lean on this year, and probably been a bit more consistent and running a bit more something that's within our parameters as well. So Bathurst probably really showed the telltale for us. Was we rolled out two very similar cars, and we've just come back together at the right time and trying to work together. So no different than what we have to do tonight and go into tomorrow as well.
Kai, you entered the finals as the 10th seed with nothing really to lose as such, and Penrite have come up with a couple of really big strategy plays throughout the year. Was that something that was discussed before the race, that maybe you go for a bit of a bolder strategy to try and gain a few positions?
No, it was all just up to the safety cars. They just fell into that way, and obviously I think they're a few wizards down there. They know what they're doing. Obviously I got no idea what I'm doing in the car. I'm just driving until they tell me to pit. So they come up with a real strategy, and you know, I never question them because they know what they're doing. And obviously it's worked this year, like at Matty at Tassie, myself at QR. There's been a few times that we've really come out strong from probably it was looking like a terrible result. But no, I never doubt them, and they do a really good job to, you know, give me the confidence in them to work with these strategies. But no, I definitely was, actually, once I came out, I was second guessing. Once I saw the old lap time there, I was thinking, oh, geez, it's a long way home. But yeah, for myself, I think I managed it really well. The tyre and the car was really good. So the team did a good job. We all worked together and got a good result.
Now that you've got a surfboard under your belt, would you be the first person in Mount Gambier to own a surfboard?
Not a surfboard, but maybe a Gold Coast surfboard. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Unless someone's bought a surfboard from I don't know. Maybe. We'll see how we go. That'd be in the workshop at the Groves though, so I won't go to Mount Gambier, unfortunately. Nowhere to surf it down there.
Broc, Chaz, you are both Gold Coast locals. Do you have any advice for Kai on how to go surfing?
Nah, I tried surfing mine last year and it doesn't work very well, so I don't actually surf, but they're very slippery. So
Put some wax on it.
yeah, it needs a wax and fins and grip.
I gave up my surfing career when I was 12. I think I got up on the board and then I realised I surfed into the rocks because I didn't know how to turn. So yeah, that was all over at 12, just like plenty of other sports I've tried. And just stick to racing, I think.
Broc, I think you're through on points as well now. So you talked all the way through the Sprint Cup about those bonus points. You must be sitting back thinking that was a bloody good thing to score. And after the endurance races, how does it feel to be sort of back into it?
Yeah, I probably underdone it, like talking about the... I was talking about the bonus points. Yeah, I talked about the bonus points all year, about how crucial they were. And to be honest, I didn't actually realise how crucial it was until I looked at the points before this weekend. And you know, I sort of had, I think it was about 135 points back to 7th or 8th, and Will, who was in 3rd, had like 50 or 60. So the bonus points were a huge help. I was disappointed we couldn't fight for the Enduro Cup points, but overall it made a huge difference, and to get in off the first race off a good results is fantastic. So yeah, to know that we're already through to the next round is awesome. But you want to lead into every round of the finals, I think. You know, for me coming in this weekend, had a buffer over P2, it'd be the same going to Sandown. Hopefully we can lead going into there and have a buffer over the rest of the guys. So yeah, it's a huge hand. Stoked to be through.
And like Chaz, you could end up blocking a tyre going to a corner and letting Will through at some point?
Just trying to win a race tomorrow, to be honest. Like, I just go out. We need to improve. We need to be better tomorrow to try and battle Chaz. And I think Woody would have been very quick as well. So I'm going to go and try and win a race. I think Will did a great job today. He got 5th. He got some good points considering I think him and Kai come together. Yeah, I think he had a good race today. Hopefully we can both get on the podium tomorrow.
I think that'll... One more there? Or not?
No,
All right. That'll wrap us up then. Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations on today.
Thank you.